off behind the headlines.
Drug lord Baktash Akasha and his younger brother Ibrahim Akasha had been long extradited to the United States to face narcotics-related charges when reports emerged that several prominent Kenyan personalities were on the radar of U.S. agencies over alleged collaboration with the Akasha drug empire. Reports that found their way to the Kenyan Parliament on the 8th of March, when National Assembly Majority Whip Benjamin Washiali wrote to the Director of Public Prosecutions Nurdin Haji to confirm these claims and to explain steps the DPP had taken to bring the matter to logical conclusion.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
6 months later, and slightly over a month since the U.S. court sentenced Baktash to 25 years in jail, the DPP is yet to file any response with Parliament, and Washiali is demanding action.
I want to confirm, Honorable Speaker, that to date I have not received this answer, and I'm actually wondering whether the Director of Public Prosecution is operating above law, because I don't think it's fair.
Clerk, do one final letter, reminder to the Director of Public Prosecutions that he is required within the next 7 days to provide that written answer, failing which we will look for a way of inviting him.
Parliamentary Standing Order 42D allows any MP to request for a written reply to a question directed to a constitutional officer and commissions, and for which the written reply should be submitted within 7 days.
I rise on Standing Order number 42.
But Washiali's query over the DPP's delayed response has reignited debate on the necessity and practicability of Parliament demanding appearance of independent office holders such as the DPP, the Attorney General and the Inspector General of Police, or even cabinet secretaries before a committee of the whole House, in instances such as Washiali's where requests for written statements are ignored.
Maybe we need to make some provision, something like a doc or like a witness box, where such strangers will appear and respond to questions and statements sought in plenary.
And I need to also remind you that Parliament is an equivalent of a High Court. Therefore, if it's an equivalent of the High Court, we need maybe to now include some standing orders that envisage the turning down of a public officer to a summon.
Currently, independent office holders and CSs appear before respective departmental committees, with the committee reports being tabled in the House for debate. Washiali's query, interestingly, comes on the backdrop of the renewed debate about whether Kenya should revert to the old system when ministers came from among members of parliament, and could therefore respond to members' queries at any time when called upon to do so on the floor of the House.
Prime Minister.
As was the case even for former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, who then doubled up as the Langata MP.
I think that is the latest proposal, so that questions can be posed to a member who is a CS and answers would come straight away from him or her, and therefore more people will be more happier, and the answers will be more, immediate than if we were to delay and wait for a CS to turn up at a committee or at the assembly.
I think we should leave it as of now that ministers are interrogated at committee level, where there can be what you call, consultation, and this kind of consultations and interrogation at the committee level normally end up with more and information.
This debate seemingly an indictment on the 2010 constitution that barred serving politicians from sitting in cabinet. Yet post-2013, President Uhuru Kenyatta has recruited both serving and former politicians to serve in his cabinet. Case in point being former Kericho Senator Charles Keter and former mining CS Dan Kazungu, who like Keter had to relinquish his Malindi parliamentary seat. Other recent politicians in Kenyatta's cabinet being former Governor Zukuria Tani and Peter Munya, currently serving as acting finance and industrialization CSs respectively, as well as most of the chief administrative secretaries in Kenyatta's cabinet. This debate is part of the recommendations given to the Building Bridges Task Force, which is expected to present its report to Kenyatta and Odinga later this month, having completed its mandate as directed by the two leaders in their March 2018 ceasefire deal, preceded by the acrimonious 2017 polls.
No.
Meanwhile, Washiali is still waiting for the DPP's response, less than 48 hours to expiry of the 7 days window. Speaker Justin Muturi gave Haji to respond. Muremi Mwangi, KTN News.